Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Flay, verb, to strip off the skin, to criticize someone very severely. Excoriate, to beat someone severely. Lash. Odium, noun, a strong feeling of hatred or disapproval. Detestation. Opprobrium, abhorrence. Disgrace. Every time he dreamed a dream, the faces were turnip white, twisted in grim determination to hook him, land him, flay him, shred his black skin into tatters, fry him up over the fire. She took a gulp of beer, as if to flay a painful memory. Since it was sealed in by his epidermis, however, I'd have to flay him to get it off. I will flay his skin from his bones, and I won't stop until... To suggest such ludicrous evolution is to flay your own father and mother, accusing them of ignorance. Then they slay the animal, and cutting off his head, proceed to flay the body. I would flay the flesh from the man's back for such insolence. To the extent that he wants to invoke the issue, it is to flay Obama for having focused on it as a distraction from the economy, not as an ideological crusade against big government. The infectious disease specialist who saw me spoke very softly, as though he knew even a normal speaking voice would flay my nerves. He could flay any government witness, but he couldn't keep his client out of jail. Having turned Armenian during the 1640s, John Goodwin kindled the odium of a host of contemporaries. The Trump White House has incurred all the odium of anti-Muslim religious tests without any attendant real-world benefit. It used to be that a martyr was one who was killed strictly in odium fidei, out of hatred for the faith. He was covered with contrition, and his unfortunate mistress was ejected, covered with odium. Still, I'm always leery of calls to ban whole categories of speech or writing or information. I almost wrote, no matter how odious, and there's the rub. Odium is one thing, murder quite another. He can barely contain his odium for the federal government's latest efforts at education reform. Here are 12 of the commonest forms of this objection, the odium of elitism, with answers to each. How do we destroy discrimination, disrespect, dissatisfaction, dissent, distaste, enmity, ill will, malice, odium, opposition, outrage, rancor, repulsion, resentment, revulsion, spite, vengeance, violence, and wrath?